Now we're going to take different equations and match them to their graph. So example 2 says match each graph to one of the following functions. So if you look at all these equations, they all have one thing in common, and that is an x squared. You have x squared here, x squared, x squared, x squared, x squared, x squared. So that's why all of these graphs right here are that of parabolas or those U shapes because they're all x squareds. So the key graph that these are all starting from is y equals x squared. So now we have to use these transformations right here to figure out how they have been moved. So if my key graph was y equals x squared, and now I have y equals x squared plus 2, what does this plus 2 on the end right here do to this graph? Well, when you have something added to the end, it moves it up. Excuse me. Now this graph here usually starts right there at the origin where the vertex is at 0, 0. So which one of these graphs have had a vertex that has been moved up 2 units? And that would be this one right here. It started at the origin and now it is up 1, 2 units. So this one matches A. Now this one has two things going on. It still has a plus 2 at the end, so it is still going up. But what does this negative right here do? When you have a negative out front of the function, it reflects it across the x-axis. So instead of this parabola opening up, now it's going to open down. So which graph has been moved up 2 units, but now is upside down? And that's this very first one right here. Okay, now we have a minus 2 inside of that function because of those parentheses. So when it is inside and it is a minus, that moves it to the right 2 units. Inside opposite, we think of that as going to the left, but it is to the right. So that looks like this one right here. Part D, we have two things going on again. We've already talked about this negative out front. That negative out front makes it reflect across the x-axis. So now it's going to open down. And now I have a plus 2 inside. So when I have a positive inside, that moves it to the left. So which one has been moved to the left and is upside down? And that looks like this one right here. So this one was D. And now these two are very similar. We have 2x squared and negative 2x squared. So I have this one and this one left. This one has to be E when it is a positive 2x squared. This one would then be left for F for the minus 2x squared. Because it is positive, it opens up, but this negative here makes it open down. So we have B, C, E, A, D, and then F.